Yo, what's going on guys, it's Abs here and welcome back to another Gears of War video. So in today's video I'm going to be discussing why the Gears of War Marcus Fenix collection has to happen. So as always, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for everything Gears of War related. And yeah, let's dive straight in. So firstly, I'm going to talk about the Master Chief collection, just to set the tone for the rest of the video and to set the standard to how the Marcus Fenix collection should take place. Okay, so on Steam, this is the description of the Master Chief collection. So the Master Chief's iconic journey includes 6 games, built for PC and collected in a single integrated experience where each game is delivered over time. Whether you're a long-time fan or meeting Spartan 117 for the first time, the Master Chief collection is the definitive Halo gaming experience. Keywords there, definitive Halo gaming experience, because if you want to experience what Halo is all about, you play the Master Chief collection. That's what it's all about, right? And it's the Master Chief's iconic journey, isn't it? And it's all housed under one roof, which is amazing. And it's a massive selling point and revenue stream for Xbox and Microsoft. And Halo is basically Xbox's biggest franchise, isn't it? And Gears of War is up there as well, without a doubt, since the Xbox 360 days. So how about a Marcus Fenix collection? Now let's talk about this. So what would the Marcus Fenix collection entail? Well, similar to the Master Chief's journey through the 6 games, Marcus Fenix's journey through the 3 games in the original trilogy, so Gears of War 1, 2 and 3. So in Gears of War 1, during the Light Mass Offensive, when Marcus was released from the Slab prison, where he became Private Marcus Fenix and was later promoted to Sergeant Marcus Fenix, and later on defeated the Locust General Rahm. And then in Gears of War 2, where his journey continued alongside Delta Squad during Operation Hollow Storm, where they took the fight to the heart of the enemy in the Locust's stronghold. And then in Gears of War 3, 17 years after Emergence Day, where the Battle of the Deadlands took place, where Marcus lost his best friend and brother Dominic Santiago, where he rescued his father Adam Fenix, and where Marcus killed Queen Mira, and where the Emulsion countermeasure weapon was activated by Adam Fenix, which killed the Lambent himself and also forced the Locust into evolution and were cocooned in crystal shells. So that's what the Marcus Fenix collection would entail, and it would be an amazing collection of the original trilogy that Epic Games created, that has produced so many millions of revenue and passionate players and fans around the world. So why should the Marcus Fenix collection happen? So I've got a lot of points that I just want to break down and tell you why this should happen, why it will benefit us, the fans, the community, the Gears of War franchise, Xbox, everyone involved really. So the first point is to introduce the original trilogy to a new generation. Now Gears of War 1 was released in 2006, Ultimate Edition was in 2015, which was the remastered version of Gears of War 1, which is already done by the way, so realistically we only need Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3. Now Gears of War 2 released in 2008, so that is 12 years old now, and Gears of War 3 is almost 10 years old. It was released in 2011, so wow, time does fly, doesn't it? So introducing that amazing original trilogy to the new generation of Xbox players that will arrive with Xbox Series X and S, as well as many players who may have not experienced Gears of War in the past. They can truly see what this amazing franchise is all about. The second reason why it should happen is that you can have all the original trilogy, so Gears of War 1, 2 and 3, under one roof, so the fans can cherish the moments on next generation graphics. Now Gears of War Ultimate Edition looks stunning, it looks amazing. It was remastered about 5 years ago. Gears of War 2 at the time, the graphics were amazing and they do still hold up to today, to be honest, but that's not enough, is it? Gears of War 2 has a lot of server issues, laggy gameplay, broken mechanics, so bringing that up to today's standard would be absolutely amazing. That would be such a great game itself. And then Gears of War 3 as well, which has amazing graphics as well, but once again fixing the gameplay, the screen shaking, bringing it up to standard of today's games, that would be so good. So basically it will be a centralized hub and it will be the definitive Gears of War experience. So if new players want to take a look into what Gears of War is all about, They have to just play this Marcus Fenix collection and they'll become in love with the franchise. But that's not to take away from other Gears of War games, as Gears of War 5, Gears of War 6. Those will be new great experiences and they should still fully be supported by the coalition. And of course, Gears Tactics and future spin-off games, Gears should keep growing, it should keep delivering new experiences. But the Marcus Fenix collection, which leads me on to my third point, is that it should be the backbone for Gears of War, similar to the Master Chief collection. Simply because it's great that Halo is introducing new experiences such as Halo Infinite that will be arriving, and then Gears of War has Gears 5 currently and Gears 6 later down the line. Currently Gears Tactics on the way as well with the Xbox Series X. So that's great, but the backbone will be the Marcus Fenix collection. Reason being is because at times when it goes quiet for Halo or when it goes quiet for Gears of War, you know, when a development cycle for a game goes towards the end of its cycle, then the Marcus Fenix collection will always be there. You know, it can be delivered over time, it can have features added over time. It will be the constant backbone that will keep the franchise thriving, similar to how Master Chief Collection is doing as well. So the fourth point of why the Marcus Fenix Collection should happen is to bring back the old guard of Gears fans who aren't really enticed by the new trilogy. Now, there are so many players out there that played Gears of War 1, 2 or 3 who probably don't even touch Gears of War anymore. Maybe because the new trilogy doesn't really excite them, maybe they're not enticed by the new trilogy. There are players out there that only play the new trilogy, but there are also many players out there that only like the original trilogy. For instance, the other day I went on Gears of War 2 and I searched for a ranked Guardian game and I found a game within 30 seconds. So what does that tell you? People are still playing Gears of War 2 12 years later. How amazing is that? It shows you how much these players love the game still. And there are so many Gears of War players and fans out there that don't really play Gears anymore, but if the Marcus Fenix collection happened, they would jump back onto that in a heartbeat. The fifth point is that it would put Gears of War back on the map. Now, during the original trilogy, during the Xbox 360 days, Gears of War was a console seller, right? People bought Xboxes because of franchises like Halo and Gears of War. That's the truth right there. But during Xbox One's era, Gears of War has not reached those heights. So a Marcus Fenix collection would help put Gears back on the map, but it won't be the only thing that'll put Gears back on the map, that's for sure. The new Gears of War experiences plus the Marcus Fenix collection hand in hand would put Gears back on the map. But Microsoft and Xbox, they need to please all the Gears of War fans and all different types of players. For instance, Gears Tactics appeals to turn-based strategy players and a lot of PC players as well. Gears Pop appeals to maybe a younger audience and mobile gamers. And then Gears 5 AAA game appeals to a new set of audience, but a lot of older Gears of War players as well. But then the Marcus Fenix collection would appeal to all of the older Gears of War players and fans, and introducing the original trilogy to millions of new players. And with Xbox's marketing, this could produce millions for them and would definitely put Gears back on the map. And it would help in terms of exclusivity for Xbox as well. So imagine Xbox having a big collection for the big guns Halo and Gears, both available on Xbox. How amazing would that be? So the definitive Halo gaming experience and then the definitive Gears of War gaming experience. That would be so amazing. Now the next point is that Gears of War 2 and Gears of War 3 need a remaster anyway, and the tagline for Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which released in 2015, the tagline was "Re-geared for a new generation," which is exactly what the Marcus Fenix collection should do, right? Another reason why it should happen is that new features can be delivered over time, for instance various types of horde, expanding beast mode, etc. So expanding beast mode, what I mean by this is in Gears of War 3 you had the Locust beast mode, but there were only a set amount of Locust enemies you could play as, but we know that there are so many Locust enemies out there that weren't available to play as, for instance the Locust Grinder or the Locust Brumark. So imagine having new features delivered over time to keep things a little bit fresh, or even features such as having Gears of War 1, 2 and 3's campaign in 4K 120 frames per second, and then multiplayer being added over time in a definitive Gears of War multiplayer experience. How cool would that be? Now I've seen some pessimistic Gears of War fans, not many, maybe 1% or 2%, saying, "Oh, how can this happen? The Coalition are busy with Gears 5 and 6. And why should we take away the resources and manpower from the Coalition? Well, let me explain. For the Halo Master Chief Collection, they've had 343 Industries working on it, they've had Splash Damage Studios working on it, they've had Ruffian Game Studios working on the collection as well, they've had Bungie working on it, and Saber Interactive Studios as well. So many developers that have worked on it, but also that would be because the Master Chief Collection was a bit of a disaster at launch, but now it is an amazing experience. The point is that the Coalition, they can focus on Gears 5 and 6 and any sort of DLC spin-off. Splash Damage and some parts of the Coalition can focus on Gears Tactics, and then Xbox giving the keys to one of their highly reputable studios to work on the Marcus Fenix collection, alongside perhaps help from other studios. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. And then my last point as to why the Marcus Fenix collection should happen is to make the original trilogy accessible. As on PC, Gears of War hasn't really ever been accessible, and that can be made into a possibility. You know, imagine having the Marcus Fenix collection on Game Pass, Game Pass Ultimate, Game Pass for PC, Steam, Project XCloud, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Imagine all the different streams that the Marcus Fenix collection can be delivered through. There is so much potential, I do have to say. So, now what? So I've given you all of these points, I've explained everything, so what should we do now? Well, let's continue to make our voices heard. So on the 20th of October 2020, Xbox tweeted, "It's time to dust off the old Needler. Fully optimized on Series X and S, 120 frames per second in campaign and multiplayer, split screen improvements and up to 4K on Series X, and available for free to existing owners or those with Xbox Game Pass on November the 17th, which is amazing. And then Shadows, a big Gears of War content creator, quoted the tweet and said, "Just imagine this, but a Gears of War Marcus Fenix collection of the original trilogy. Damn, a Gears 2 Ultimate Edition multiplayer would be too fire," which it would, right? It would be amazing. And then Guy Welch, who is the marketing director at Xbox for Gears of War, said, "Get it trending," with a winky face. So that was a challenge that he set for us to show Gears of War and Xbox that look, we want this. We need to keep showing them that look, there's a market for this. Let's get it trending. Let's get news outlets talking about it. Let's get social media talking about it. Let's get their attention. And the Gears of War community has been doing exactly that, but we need to keep it up. We have been tweeting so much regarding it, and we're getting more and more attention about it. So what we need to do is we need to keep using the hashtag Fenix Collection. Make some noise, like, retweet and quote as to why you want the Gears of War hashtag Fenix Collection. So try your best to get hashtag Fenix Collection trending on Twitter. I'm helping out, other Gears of War fans are helping out. Let's work together. And we all want the best for Gears of War, so that's why we do want this Marcus Fenix collection, and that is why the Marcus Fenix collection has to happen. So yeah guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like and comment down below why you'd like to see the Marcus Fenix collection and your thoughts on the video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hope you guys have a nice day, and I will catch you on the next one.